How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Pack Opening and Shuffles for the Boston team. Unfortunately, I have some very bad news. So, yeah, um, on Tuesday at work, I did what I've been doing 5 days a week for several months now, basically since I started the Boston team. And I logged out of my Boston team, went to go log into the Brewers team to clear my league balls so that they didn't fill up, and then I'd end up wasting away league balls. And I received a permanent ban on the account for abnormal use. For those of you that are wondering, and I'm sure most of you are, that have absolutely no idea why that is, I talked to some club members, and there seems to be some kind of weird algorithm that Com2 uses to track your activity. And apparently, me doing the logical thing and logging into my alt account when I'm at work and doing exactly what I said that I do, which is clear league balls so that they don't fill up and then waste away before I get home and start clearing them out on the other device. Yeah, so this happened. Apparently Com2 doesn't want people logging in and out of accounts on the same device for reasons that are completely asinine at best. Well, best and worst case, I would say, really. So the theory there is that supposedly they're trying to not allow people to throw ranked games to their other accounts by, for example, seeing that you are on your other account's ranked refresh list and then bouncing back to the other account, changing your lineup, and effectively throwing a game for your other team there. I mean, that's cool and all that they supposedly care about the competitive spirit and integrity of this game. Although that is quite laughable because, in my observations, so for example, when players that refresh their ranked lists religiously on Sunday nights and make that big climb to get into whatever league, trying to basically, I mean, I'm sure what they're usually doing, I don't know if it's the case all the time, but they're usually doing that to climb as high as possible so that they can make a run at Legend 1 or Legend or whatever their goal is. And one thing that these players do a lot, I don't know if it's the case all the time. I would assume so because it's a really huge advantage. So they let their buddies and clubmates, whatever, know, and I assume that when they do that, that they're basically throwing matches to the player that's trying to climb into Legend or whatever the case is. So basically, they're trying to stop something that's going to happen regardless of what they do, and probably happens 99% of the time. That that scenario, as opposed to players discovering that their alt account is on the ranked list and trying to throw a match to get an easy victory. Um, at least as far as I know, that's what their MO is here. So just a word of caution. I mean, I'm not going to bitch about the situation too much, even though it's obviously a crock of bullshit that I would have to go through this. But yeah, just a word of warning to you guys that are running multiple accounts. And the funny thing is, practically all of the YouTubers, the fellow YouTubers that play this game and vlog your farming and stuff like that, and your pack openings and stuff. Pretty much everybody that I'm aware of, except for like Scumjad, pretty much all the YouTubers have multiple accounts, alt accounts. So obviously having alt accounts and multiple accounts is a pretty common occurrence in this game, so it's really pretty laughable just from that aspect. I mean, they're pretty much trying to frustrate people into, I don't know, isolating accounts onto specific devices and never deviating and logging in and out of separate accounts on a device, I guess. So if you're doing what I'm doing, which I'm guessing a lot of you are, at least to some extent, because I mean, most of us are adults that actually have bills to pay and we go to places like work 8 to 10 hours a day. And yeah, so I mean, in my situation, I'm probably, by not doing that, I'd probably be throwing anywhere from like 20 to 30 league balls a week out the window and not using them. And those of you that use the awesome function of the 15 quick play games for league balls, that's a pretty significant amount of rewards that you're um, letting go out the window on a weekly basis. So obviously, it makes sense to want to do that. I mean, that's just a logical approach to this with a 7.5 hour time to completely fill up your league balls. So yeah, don't do that. Although I have a feeling since it happened roughly a week after I started the Houston team, and I was doing the same thing with the Houston team, I was logging out of my Boston account at work, logging into the Brewers team, clearing the league balls, and doing a ranked refresh, then going to the Houston team, clearing the league balls, and doing a ranked refresh, and then going back to the Boston team to continue farming for the rest of the day. I have a feeling that this ban came as a result of doing that twice a day instead of just once for the extra account. So yeah, a word of advice, don't do that. I'm not sure what the exact algorithm is. I know that it took roughly a week of doing that until I caught the ban hammer. So I'm really not sure how to approach doing this in the future for those of you that have especially more than two different accounts and teams. I'd say maybe only do that when there's a really, really good high priority free agent in the free agent market that pops up. That's not very frequent, to be honest. It's, I don't know, like probably less than once a week, especially during the times that you'd be available or that you're at work and you don't really have that device available. I guess in the future I would recommend only logging in and out of different accounts on one device to try to get a can't miss free agent that you really can't go without trying to sign. I'm pretty on this note. I'm pretty much at a crossroads with the game, depending on what happens with this. I emailed them on like Wednesday night. Still haven't heard anything back from them with the inquiry that they give you a chance to use when you press that contact us link. And so I don't know. I mean, if this ban ends up being upheld for some idiotic reason, which really wouldn't surprise me, but as far as I know, this has happened to other players, and they send an email, and within supposedly a day or two, it ends up being resolved, and your account gets reinstated. And yeah, I mean, hopefully that's the case here, and I think I'm hoping that the reason that they haven't got back to me yet is because, I mean, this is the end of the weekend, and they probably don't have anybody working on the weekend, but I mean, should only be a 2 day weekend. It's been 3 or 4 days now. Not sure what they'd be waiting for if they are going to get back to me. Although someone did bring up the excellent point that they are probably still in the process of fixing the diamond pack glitch thing, because I know that they did extend a couple players that I know a couple extra days to get that resolved. And I would hope that they're not still doing that, but you never know. Maybe they took a long weekend after busting their ass fixing that for the last couple of weeks. At least that's probably the best case scenario I'm thinking is happening here. But depending on what happens with this, I mean, I might just end up going to the Google Play Store and getting whatever refund I can for my expenditures. I mean, obviously, I'm going to do that in this case if the Brewers account is upheld, because the account is permanently banned anyways. It's not like I can sell the account or anything. I might as well get what I can out of it. But I don't know. I mean, worst case scenario, I might just quit this game altogether, because obviously this, if they do uphold that, that would be just a complete joke. And I guess it'd be 3.5 years, and God, I'm afraid to even find out how much money I've spent on this game over those 3.5 years. Probably a whole lot more than I would care to know, all added up in the end. I don't know. This is just ridiculous, I think. I mean, it's just a joke. So I don't know. Hopefully, I get that account back in the next couple of days again, and I can, resume to business as usual. But this is why you won't be seeing a Brewers account pack opening and shuffles video this week, because obviously I spent 3/4 of the week being banned. So yeah, that's the unfortunate update with that situation. Like I said, a word of advice: I would not do what I've been doing and what I assume a lot of you have been doing with multiple accounts. I have a feeling that the ban hammer came as a result of doing it twice a day instead of just once, because of the third account that I have. I mean, it's been months since I started doing that with the Boston team, and nothing happened. And I mean, just to wrap that up, I think it's a complete one of the reasons why I'm so upset about this. I'm probably 10 times more upset than I was with the glitchgate, is the fact that basically I never got a single warning, never got a single temporary, like, 3-day ban or whatever, or maybe even a 7-day ban, or 15-day ban. I'm not sure exactly what the scenario should be or would be, but it just seems like a complete joke that they can permanently ban an account for doing nothing wrong. At least nothing actually wrong. I mean, for the reasons I provided a few minutes ago. I'm sure that it falls under some kind of stupid umbrella of trying to protect the competitive integrity of the game, which is a joke considering the what lots of high-end endgame players end up doing anyways. But yeah, that's that situation, that unfortunate update. So just thought I'd let you guys know. A lot of you probably know that already because you're in my clubs and you've heard me bitching about it for the last 5 days, but that's the shit sandwich that I've been eating for the last 5 days, and hopefully that ends up finishing soon, one way or the other. So yeah, let's get back to a regularly scheduled broadcast here, and I'll start doing some combos and then rip some packs open. Hopefully, if nothing else, this is the week that I finally get a halfway decent second baseman. It's not a bad shortstop, but I'm already set at shortstop. Well, that's a halfway decent second baseman right there. The scooper himself, Jonathan Scope. It's not a bad pitcher. It's probably a pretty crappy grade increase on that Archer, because I think that's one of his better seasons. I should check the skills on that relief pitcher just to see if he's got something good. Well, that's not a terrible skill set for a relief pitcher. Well, I'm ready, out of golds to combo away. And starting this week, I've made the decision not to combo away silver players anymore in this account. Be using those for special training material since I'm not really far behind special training players, but I would really like to get the ball rolling on that a little bit more. Silver packs and premiums first as usual. I think that Brock Holt might have been free agents earlier this week, but he's not quite good enough for me to spend free agent tickets on. At this point for me, free agent priorities are 19 Workman, 21 Hernandez, and 19 Vasquez. Oh, there's a gold Workman. Actually, there's a silver one too. Probably end up saving the silver one for future upgrade material. I'll put him in backups so I don't forget. I really wish you could disable this stupid pop-up that tells you that your skills aren't maxed yet. Or that they would change it so that it only happens the first time and then doesn't pop up anymore. And LeMahieu's got some halfway decent Rockies years, but I would really, really like to see a Yankees year LeMahieu for this team. He actually showed up in free agents about a week ago, and I believe that was the first free agent card I've ever seen that had 100 contact at level 1. That's a beast of a card. I think it was his 20th season. mean, obviously, I would prefer a 20 or a 21 Kike Hernandez as my second baseman. That's a nice Kimbrel. But I wouldn't turn down a 20 or 20, I think at 19 or 20 or 20 or 21 LeMahieu to use at least in the near future. No diamonds from premium this week. Unless I get one here. Nope. Matt Duffy. Oh, that's right, I forgot to get stuff from the club store. Alright, upgrade chance. Really hope I finish that Bogarts because he'll be my next special train. Matt Barnes. I pulled a 20 Matt Barnes from the diamond packs from the shenanigans a couple weeks ago. That was exciting for all of about 12 hours until they reversed all that stuff. Alright, 2 Bogarts upgrade chances. Assuming the first one fails. Would be really nice to get that card finished up this week. Man, John Bradley Jr. sure had a terrible season with the Brewers. It was bad. I think at one point, like 3/4 of the way through the season, he was batting like 131 or something. Just terrible. Could not believe that. Ultimate packs. Wow, 10 ultimates. That's nice. Or 10 golds, I should say. Got 1 diamond. Unfortunately, it's just going to be a combo material. Wow, really? Okay. I don't think I have ever gotten a diamond from a premium vintage pack on any account with the hundreds I've opened. Oh, I can't see his skills. It's a pretty nice Carrasco that Fried, whatever you pronounce his name, that's not bad. So let's check out some skills here and then get into some combos. Nope. That's a big nope. And that's a big nope. Well, I'll definitely take the Diamond Vintage. That's a pretty big win out of premium vintage packs. Alright, let's go. Got him up to 20 finally. Let's see if I have anybody else. Joe Kelly. Really not sure why I'm trying to upgrade this card at this point. It's a pretty crappy starting pitcher. But you never know, I might get him level 20 one of these days, and he might actually be worth getting into my lineup. To get that team set deck bonus up higher. Might as well get these out of the way for spec training. It's a halfway decent relief pitcher. Missed him. It's a pretty solid Cabrera. Rowdy Tellez. Had some pretty big home runs this year for the Brewers. Alright. Don't need him though, since I have Rizzo that I'm training up. But I guess I can check out his skills to see if there's any monster skill sets. Another Chris Sale. It's pretty mediocre, not terrible skills, but obviously not going to get used. So I'm trying to think if there's anything that I should be doing besides skill changes. Trying to get skills on Lester. That'd be really, really nice to finally get him started. Well, I'm seeing decent skills, they're just isolated amongst crap skills. Let's try to roll 2 of those skills, that would be nice. Ooh, man. Wow, I got super excited when I saw Dom 3 and Touch 3. Um, if that was Touch Finesse, that would for sure be a keeper. But I've heard very disappointing things about Dom Touch, so if that was a third 3 skill, I would absolutely keep that, at least for a rainy day with some blue tickets. But I'm gonna have to keep going and probably see nothing the rest of the time. That's how these things usually go. There's a triple three. You know, I think I'm gonna keep that and open up skill storage on him. Ooh. That, especially with 2 skill change tickets left, that's probably gonna have to be a keeper. Dom Mess. You know, actually, I could try maxing Dom Inning Eater and leave Mess level 3. That's probably what I'm gonna end up doing, especially on Team Sig with 74 base stamina. It'd be fairly easy to, well, not easy, I should say, but viable to get a train on him where he ends up with 120 stamina for the Inning Eater bonus, and then also the Dom bonus. That's actually a really nice card in general for a Dom Finesse because his base stats are completely balanced, perfectly balanced, really, as all things should be. Um, so he'll be a fairly easy train for Dom or Finesse, and in this case, I think that'd be a pretty viable train for Dom and 120 stamina. Who should I try skill changing next? Probably relief pitcher. I'm trying to think if there's anybody like one of my backup batters, maybe JDM. Might try to roll some skills on him. You know, I could open up a storage on Rodriguez and try to land something decent on him. I think that's what I'm gonna end up doing. Gonna open up his skill storage because he has touch mess, which is okay. I mean, at this point, it's decent. Nothing there, so let's throw a couple of skill changes at him and see what happens here. Ooh, finesse mess. There you go. That's going to be a skill set for quite a long time, really. I mean, finesse mess is going to hold up into at least gold 1. And on a normal card, that would probably be fine until gold 1. So got that worked out. Got decent skills and maybe a monster skill set on um Lester if I can thread the needle and get 120 stamina with a full dom bonus also. That'd be really nice to happen. And that's going to be a pretty nice end to this video. So I will see you guys for the Astros team, and hopefully if things work out, I'll still be playing this game next week, and I'll see you guys later. Thank you.